Easy, baby, anything you say, I'll do. Cause I only wanna make you. From the bottom of my heart, it's true. I wish that I could take a journey through your eyes. Find emotions that you're always trying to hide, baby. Whoa, I do believe that that's a love you wanna share with me. Cause I'll take good care of you, my baby, have no fear. So I wanna know, yeah, I wanna know so I can be all that I want. I'd like to know what makes you cry, so I can be the only one to make it. Oh, tell me what I gotta do to please you. Baby, anything you say, I'll do. Cause I only wanna make you happy from the bottom of my heart, it's true. Tell me what I gotta do to please you. Baby, anything you say, I'll do. Cause I only wanna make you from the bottom of my heart, it's true. Yeah, yeah. Oh, see, I love to know so I can be all that I am. Oh, I like to know, I'd like to know what makes you cry, so I can be the only one to make you smile, so I can be the only one to make you smile. Yeah. I've been really trying, baby, trying to hold back this feeling for so long. And if you feel like I feel, my baby, so come on, come on, let's get it on down. Baby, let's get it on, yeah. Let's get it on, sugar. Let's get it on, yeah. Oh, we are sensitive people, and we've got so much to give. So understand me, sugar. And since we've got to be, let me say, baby, listen, 'cause I love you. There's nothing wrong with me loving you, baby. No, 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 no. And giving yourself to me can never be wrong, 'cause this our love is true, true. Let's get it on, ooh, baby. Let's get it on, yeah. Let's get it on, 'cause you're my sugar. Let's get it on. When your legs don't walk like they used to before, and I can't sweep you off of your feet. When your mouth still remember the taste of my love, and when your eyes still smile from a cheek, 'cause then I will be loving you till we're 70. And give me my heart, 'cause never less harder at 23. I'm thinking about how people fall in love in mysterious ways, and maybe just a touch of a hand. But me, I fall in love with you every single day, and I just wanna tell you, so honey, now take me to your loving arms. Will you kiss me under the light of 1,000 stars? Oh, darling, place your hand on my beating heart. I'm thinking of love, and maybe we found love right where we are. When my hands are both gone and my memory fades, and the crowd don't remember my name. Ooh, when my hands don't play the string the same way, I know you still love me the same. 'Cause honey, your soul could never grow. Oh, this forever green. And baby, your smiles forever in my mind, in memory. 'Cause I'm thinking about how people fall Take me to your loving arms and kiss me under the light of 1,000 stars. Oh, darling, place your hand on my beating heart, 'cause I'm thinking out loud. Maybe we've found love right where we are. La, 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 la. Take me into your loving arms and will you kiss me under the light of 1,000 stars? Oh, darling, place your hand on my beating heart, 'cause I'm thinking out loud. Maybe we've found love right where we are. Maybe we've found love right where we are. Maybe we found love right where we are.
Machozi yangu yote inamalizika, mie mitalala na nani? We unaenda mie paka ni mawazo, mie paka ni kuwaza. We unaenda kama ile njia yako wenda, kama ni maisha yako fata. We dada, relo, think that's the way. Relo, think that's the way. Mie paka ni mawazo, kama unaniacha,
kama we unaenda,
Relo, think that's the way. Relo, think that's the way. Relo, 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 think that's the way. Relo, 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 think that's the way. Relo, relo.
Wewe ni ya kwetu bakupingana musele baba vuluka diloloe chiwa kambe ngangela chanza ne mukwa wewe ni ya kwetu bakupingana musele baba mema kuzengelela tona mudina ule chibangu cha mushiwa kuchupa kuluse mnene chanana ya kujoa mema kuzengelela tona mudina ule chibangu cha mushiwa kuchupa kuluse mnene chanana ya kujoa vuluka diloloe chiwa kambe ngangela chanza ne mukwata wewe ni ya kwetu bakupingana musele baba mema kusengelela tona mudinda ule chibangu cha mushiwa kuchupa kuluse mnene chanana ya kujoa chena kupa moyo chibangu cha mukao chidiji mushingu cha menu wakanzuma chena kupa moyo chibangu cha mukao chidiji mushingu cha menu wakanzuma chena kupa moyo chibangu cha mukao chidiji mushingu cha menu wakanzuma chena kupa moyo chibangu cha mukao chidiji mushingu cha menu wakanzuma chibangu cha mukao chidiji mushingu cha menu wakanzuma chena kupa moyo chibangu cha mukao chidiji mushingu cha menu wakanzuma chena kupa moyo chibangu cha mukao chidiji mushingu cha menu wakanzuma chena kupa moyo chibangu cha mukao chidiji mushingu cha menu wakanzuma Thank you.
Oh, Mamour. Yolo bakinini Yolo bakinini mamu Yolo bakinga na funda kayo na mobali na yo Yolo bakinga na salaka kisefe na libala na bino si Yolobaki nini Yolobaki nini mamu Yolobaki ngana fundaka yo na mobali na yo ye Yolobaki ngana salaka kisefe na libala na bino Madilu tika ye ya loba 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 ye Makambo ye ya salaka Aye bakate na bandako nyonso ye akotaka Bato bamonaka ye na bakwe nyonso ye atambolaka Bashofer tasi bamonaka ye Pona nini apanza yo sango Alobi yo salaka kisefe Ngai motola kotelaka yo mamu ye Ngai motola yebi basekele mamu ye Lelo nakomi moto mabe o mamu La nanzela ya libala ye mamu La nanzela ya libala mamu ye Yango evandisa yo na poto mamu Tika kokosa mobali na yo mamu Sonka telefone loba obimaka mamu A pompe, a danser A pompe, a danser A pompe, a danser Give and kiss A pompe, a danser, a pompe, a danser, a pompe, a danser. Hoka, mama, simba, mama, hoka, mama, hoka. Hey, hapa wa miziki, sisi. Yeloko niño koluka ye mamu ye Yeloko niño koluka mamu ye Signature siyozuwa mamu La nanzela ya libala ye mamu La nanzela ya libala mamu ye Yango evandisa yo na poto mamu Tika kokosa mobali na yo mamu Sonka telefone loba obimaka mamu Give and kiss See A pompe, a danser, 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 a pompe. A pompe, a danser, a pompe, a danser, a pompe, a danser, a pompe. Thank you.
So naturally, when they say thank you like that, they expect you to clap for them. So you can clap for them. So I'm not supposed to remind you to clap. One of the rules of engagement tonight. Whenever these people perform, the only thing that these people want is noise and a bit of money. So those of you that are in suits like me, when they start dancing, and I don't want them to hear, when they start dancing and all the songs, whatever you have in your pocket, just throw at them. It makes them happier. So you see, they haven't started dancing because the noise, the clapping is still diminished. So before we get into the official part of the program, I will invite the band to give us one serious song that we can dance to, so that we try and see if we can motivate them. Now, for those of you that love to dance, feel free as the band is playing. You can just stand where you are. If you want, you can even join in front. It's very much allowed on a night like this one. We are here to relax away from the pressures of work and many other things that we have left behind us. So, tupempako cheka mozi babandai kakwe tichiteko monga tayamba yamba. We want to get the night started. It's slowly getting hot. Ladies and gentlemen, a big hand one more time for the Air Power Band. Manja, 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 manja.
Wezulu zaikwa za mabunu, za mabunu,
zaikwa za mina.
Wezulu zaikwa za mabunu, za mabunu,
zaikwa za mina.
Wezulu zaikwa za mabunu,
zaikwa za mina. palelo.
Lelo. Azani ondesa.
Si palelo.
Lelo. Azani ondesa.
Asikana ena msaone kuvala zamene vachita ndizoyo vya bantu. Asikana ena msaone kumeka zamene vachita ndizoyo vya bantu. Ukonombelela mamuna amene anindi chuma imwe kumubulokeza kumutiriza pakandala mazata. Tizichenjela na asikana amutundu uyu nikuza nikuti anzanga muzichenjela imwe. Bauze ngoze
Babeseselelo.
Bauze ngoze
Babeseselelo.
bauze ngoze
Babeseselelo.
Iryashiryo ukuvuma kuli wa Profesa Pike Shala n'abakashoba haliye tichi Shala. Mwana wandi na msonda teshankwebe. Mwana wandi na msonda teshankwebe. Umwana tiba mufunda pakuya. Umwana tiba mufunda pakuya.
Amama uyu munyane sebe. Amama na cheni dola. Ayaya chindere sebe. Wawona waluta dola. Chichalo chinyake tekanya sebe. Aba bantu banyake samira sebe. Kulamo baba mwenge niyo kalo yabo.
You
A big hand, ladies and gentlemen, for the Air Power Band. So, that being said, we are almost coming to the official part of the program. So, we're going to have an opening prayer, after which I will invite Dr. Steve to come and welcome us. So, for the prayer, I kept looking around because I'm supposed to choose someone to pray for us. And the Spirit led me to only one name. Do we have Dr. Schizia in here? Where is he seated? Somewhere behind. Okay, that's what my spirit was telling me.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. We're here to celebrate, amen. And we are thankful to God for health, for life, for the grace of wisdom, of intellect, because this is what we celebrate today. Intellect, hard work, commitment, sacrifice. Father, thank you. We gather here this evening. We give you praise. We give you glory. We come to celebrate, Lord, the lives of our young people who have worked so hard to reach to this day, Lord, and achieve this excellency in their studies, that this nation may be healed. We give all the praise and all the glory. And tonight, Father, we invite you that as we celebrate, you're in our midst. May your name be glorified. Through Jesus Christ the Lord. Amen.
Thank you very much, Doc. Sir, what were you saying? Where's the? Okay. These guys keep emphasizing that I should be standing here. I feel a little bit too disconnected if I'm here. You look like you're too far away from me, but I'll try for most of the times. I love to be interactive most of the times. So, Dr. Sterling, I saw him a few minutes ago. He's supposed to come through and give us the remarks, the opening remarks. Any? Okay. No signal. Maybe he just stepped out. So, sir, as a DJ, this is the moment where we are going to need you. We need one song as we just wait for Dr. Study to be among us so that he can welcome us properly. So any song that you feel is going to make my people comfortable and happy. So this is where we test your skill as DJ. Random selection, not only in a DJ, but sungalize poche ya random ya station. So give us anything that you feel will be convenient for now as we that song, which no, I didn't say it's a bad song. I'm just trying to imagine. It's a one for big machines, okay? No, feel free. Feel free.
Skin fresh melanin, sungani kweseka leza za kuwila pamuvili. Ine my business, osa niletela chikwela sini mafuna po darkness. Ni mafuna chabe happiness, tikole wana bazanga kugeto ndiye success.
So I meant for the speakers.
No, we know you're free to be. That's what I mean. The speakers to be coming here. That's what I mean.
Oh, you want the speakers in any kind of
Yeah, but if they want to be moving across, fine.
But babu unapachitika kuline soma kondera. That's why ni mangala leka. Baby don't blame me, the time we are here. Ziba ni kujola, babu unapachitika kuline soma kondera. That's why ni mangala leka. Baby don't blame me, the time we are here. Ukamba chanda, sunga chite avo watadan. Ulibe planta, uzivela chanja. Fase chance time yanga yafika pandan. Goma dine, dine mwezo tosa pama picture. Dine muna unza putizova. Life is a monga vifaya. Apa ni bad boy flexing, pese kamechilova. Simachili na pona bantu bachepela basa alpha. Kubante mwande chimena. Maybe, yeah, maybe, oh. Let me why you puna nikane daga wako. Usho ngali kone mama sister wako. Sani now.
All right. I think I can see Dr. Study in the building. Dr. Stali. Isn't that Dr. Stali I'm seeing there? He looks a little bit... a big hand for Dr. Study as he walks to the stage. We were almost going to the police to start looking for you. Was last seen at Mulungush wearing specs.
That's a problem of having surgeons come to events. Theater happens unexpectedly. So from nowhere, you just find you are in theater, and lo, it drags. The meeting is now waiting for you. I'm here nevertheless. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, professors, doctors, consultants, invited guests. Good evening. No, for a minute, one would think that maybe I went to the wrong hall. This doesn't look like a celebratory hall. Good evening, people. Good evening. Do I have any graduates here? I don't hear it. Do you have any graduates here? Please, this is your evening. Can we make some noise, everybody? Hey! No, surely we can do better. The meeting won't start without getting a feedback from you that we need to get started. Can I hear somebody make some noise? You know, in our journey for studying, there comes lots of stress. I think stress doesn't go beyond that stress we face in the exams. Yesterday, we enjoyed ourselves, brilliant ceremony. Today, it's that day when we get to interact with our trainers, when we get to share a drink as colleagues. That's a huge milestone in anyone's career. Friends, if at all you had not convinced you're a consultant now, today, that is the day that you are confirmed, you have a chance to share that bottle with your trainer as colleagues. Isn't that big? I can't hear. Graduates, I'm speaking to you, the owners of the meeting. All right, let's hope as we go along, the spirit of celebration that we had from yesterday will continue and it will fill this meeting place. That's the kind of evening we are looking at. There's a lot on our table this evening. We should really get started. And mine is just to say, you're all welcome, and please, let's enjoy this evening. That's what we are here for. Thank you very much.
Still not convincing. Dr. Study tried so hard to remind us that we are here to be happy. Now, before I invite the next speaker, those who are graduating yesterday, may I just see your hands up? Those who graduated yesterday. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask you to do something for us. So you will stand right where you are. If you graduated yesterday, just stand nicely where you are. We have a very quick exercise for you, just for a minute. Dr. Stewart, I saw you in a gown yesterday. What are you waiting for? So, looking at this group, I am going to pick randomly one of you who is going to choose a song that this whole group is likely to enjoy. Then the DJ will play it, and right where you are, you will feel happy and dance for 30 seconds. Yes, so who do you trust when it comes to song selection? Quickly, just give me direction. Oh, okay. So you are going to choose a song that you think people who graduated yesterday can dance to. What is your choice?
Definitely your maps, season younger.
Okay. Yeah. DJ, you have heard now. You guys graduated after a lot of fights, challenges, a bit of tears here and there. So let us just see how happy you are. This is your season, and make the most out of it. DJ, gati uli betinga imbe na akapera inyimbo tizi bati nangoma je tizavina. But what we just want is to make people happy. Ladies and gentlemen, the rest of us, a big hand to the people that we are celebrating tonight. Feel free. Even those who didn't graduate, if you believe it's your season, you can join them. Oh yeah, that table looks committed, yes. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. You make us proud each and every time. Thank you very much, DJ. Thank you. A big hand, ladies and gentlemen, a big hand. It's the first time I've seen Dr. Nimrod dancing while he is sober. Sorry, Varumi, sorry. I know it was going to be a very difficult task because sometimes dancing when you are not under the influence of, needs a lot of courage. But either way, at least we've seen what happiness means for these people. At this moment, I'll invite Professor Njelesani to give us what we call reflections. I really don't know what we are reflecting on or about, they're about. But ladies and gentlemen, a big hand for our professor as he comes through on stage to help us reflect.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Is it really a good evening with that subdued response? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, thank you. I was requested to share my journey as a physician, particularly to my colleagues since yesterday. You became colleagues at yesterday's graduation, and congratulations to you all. Another big hand of applause to my colleagues. May I recognize our president, the president of the Zambia College of Medicine and Surgeons, Dr. Mbambiko, our president from the Royal College of Physicians Ireland, Dr. Osha and the team, president of the Zambia Medical Association. May I simply say, distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, as I reflected on my journey as a physician and leading to those presentations yesterday, there was so much similarity. All of us starting in some village, walking to school barefooted. I think yesterday we heard about these villages somewhere in Kasama. Apparently, I also came from some village somewhere in Kasama. Wait for this. 1952, I started schooling. I was only 7 years old. And we had to walk to school every day. And this school was something like 5 kilometers. We go in the morning and come in the afternoon. So very similar to what you colleagues have gone through. Nothing special about that. But then this school went on up to what was called Standard 2 those days. To go to Standard 3, and in those days, those schools were not many. We are talking about it before independence. I had to go to a school called Kapatu Mission School, some 70, 80 kilometers from home. Unfortunately, we had a very peculiar school calendar. Schools open in August and closed in May. And since you had to walk to this place, you stayed at school from August to May the following year. You can imagine that. You live very young. I was that time about 10 years old. And it was quite some experience. I discovered a new family, the family of my classmates. So even at that time, we could identify the challenges we're facing as distances to work to the school. Even that time, we had to pay school fees, and our families were not that rich. So your parents, while you are away for that 1 year, they will be working to find some 2 shillings and 3 pence as the school fees. So from there, I went to some place called Ipusukilo in Luengo district, which was a preparatory seminary. Seminary means training for priesthood in the Catholic faith. From there, I went to Lubushi Minor Seminary, also in Kasama district. I left Lubushi for Pima in Central Province in 1963. 1963, I was at Mpima until independence, when we had to move now to go to Canisius College. Of early maturity became quite handy. You had to be self-sufficient. And you had a larger family of fellow students. Now, part of the training in the seminary was the formation. You really received strong formation. But I also enjoyed something, studying Latin, I think for 8 years, which came in quite handy when we started the medical school and doing anatomy. After Canisius College, in fact, I stayed there just one year, and that was 1965 now. The University of Zambia opened in Lusaka. And all of us who had passed and who were in that, because from there we were supposed to go to Form 6 lower, were diverted to go to the university. Here I was in a group of these 300 other students, among these new lecturers and professors whom we didn't know properly, all trying to find education in a university. Very, very interesting indeed. But again, at that time, our late president decided he was going to start not only a university, but also a medical school. He was discouraged by the powers that be, but he was very stubborn. And you can imagine the villagers contributed money, chickens being sold to raise money to start that university. So it was a very happy occasion for the night, and very exciting for us young students who entered there. Of course, even that time, there was a problem, the numbers. In fact, in medical school, there were only 25 of us. And something hilarious happened. You know, you had to study anatomy. Anatomy, you needed a cadaver. And in fact, not many people even knew that name called cadaver. So we had to get organized to try and get our first cadaver to come in our dissection rooms. And I can tell you it was not a very pleasant experience. Where you see UTH, University Teaching Hospital, we had Lusaka Central Hospital. At the moment, if you have been in UTH, you have seen some buildings with green roofs. That was the Lusaka Central Hospital. Where the eye department was the main administration. So all those buildings you see there were not there. They were to come afterwards. And where the current administration is today was a mortuary. And therefore, we had to go and look for some unclaimed body. And unfortunately, we could only find one. And 25 of us were assigned to that body. 5 on each limb, and then, the balance and all that. But another interesting thing, despite starting the medical school, we had only one textbook of anatomy. One, not 2. So we had to cyclo-style that book to get the chapters like when you're going to go to your lectures. So it was a very exciting time for all of us. And we were lucky to say guinea pigs, but we didn't mind. our teachers were very, very committed. They would come to our dormitory, to our rooms to see who was studying and all that. And I remember one story, one evening, one of our colleagues was busy trying to do muscle building. And this very famous professor of pathology was going around and came to that room. He didn't say anything, just said, please take your studies seriously. The following day, we were in the classroom, and Prof starts asking questions about our previous lecture. Unfortunately, my colleagues could not could not give the answers that the man wanted. So now he turned to all of us and said, look here, you chaps. You have come here to study medicine, not this thing. Very soon your girlfriend will realize that what you need are brains, not muscles here. So our friends were not very amused, but it was a joke. We had free education. In fact, when the Independence Day came, education from primary school to university was free. And it continued until we graduated in 1973. Out of 25, only 13 graduated to become doctors. This is the stage which you, my friends, my new colleagues, you reached some time back, and then you started thinking about specialization. That was the same with us at the time. And I'm afraid to say that at the Ministry of Health, our leaders there had no clue of what postgraduate training in medicine was. And at the time there was one visiting consultant from the United Kingdom. In fact, in a Lake District, Cumbria, the place was called Western General. And he asked me, young man, what do you want to do in life? I said, I want to specialize. Specialize in what? He said, I've settled for internal medicine. I said, okay, if you are serious, I'll get you a job in the UK. And believe me, just like that, in 2 weeks' time, he came back, he says, you buy your own ticket, you get a job in the UK, in that hospital, and they will receive you. So it was like a dream. Go to the ministry, I want to go for studies. They said, there's no, you can't do that. Then I offered to resign, but then it was going to cause a bit of embarrassment. So no, please don't resign. You can go on unpaid study leave. I said, thank you very much. So I left for the UK in 1975 in August and got a job as SHO at Whitehaven General Hospital. I was there for 6 months, but my desire was to get to Edinburgh. And I got to Edinburgh in November, one of those weekends, and I was told that there would be a course in internal medicine being run by the Royal College of Physicians starting in January 1976. So I enrolled. And the beautiful thing at the time is when you enroll in a program like that, you had access to all the hospitals in Edinburgh to do attachments or to participate in ward rounds and discussions. And that's what happened. Very soon, I was going to these hospitals until one day, I came across one very famous professor. He had put me through a lot of questions. But somehow he took a liking to me. He also asked me, what do you want to do? I said, MRCP. He said, okay, you come and join my unit at Western General. And as we began, he said, young man, sit down. Nobody joins me and disgraces me. You come here to work. If you are not prepared, we can shake hands and you go your way. I said, no, I'm prepared. I was determined to come and do this. So to cut the long story short, 1977, I did my MRCP. I worked, did a few jobs in England and Scotland before returning home in 78. That is another story. Now, this is where you are, my friends. You specialized yesterday. That was the level at which I was in 1978. So I was enrolled in the ministry as senior lecturer in internal medicine and appointed consultant physician in 1979. At that time, something also happened. The World Health Organization had started a program called Program for Research and Training in Tropical Diseases. What was happening up to that time was these tropical diseases which were bringing down economic development, malaria, trypanosomiasis, and all that, and schisto. They were not very, very exciting. But the things they did to the human body, it was impossible to have proper economic development. So this program was developed, and they selected 3 centers to start with. The first one was Belém in South America, Latin America. The second one, believe it or not, was in Ndola, Zambia. And the third one was in Thailand. So now, after they had begun, we had expatriate scientists who had come to set up the research center and start the work, researching in these diseases, researching on tools to control these diseases, and training research scientists in those endemic areas, of course with participation from the older, schools of tropical medicine. And that's how somehow they advertised they're looking for a Zambian director. I applied. And guess what? I was invited to go to Geneva for interviews, and I got the job. So the beauty about Ndola was that I was not only involved in clinical work, we had to have students coming to us from the University of Zambia because we had excellent laboratories at the time, but also opportunity in participating in research, which was really a very, very important development for me. And I dare say, in all my career, I think I enjoyed my stay at Ndola very much. Then, again, my colleagues, it may happen to you, these politicians, they keep looking at you. When they say you are doing something, whether you like it or not, they'll give you something else. So the then president at that time spoke to the Director General in Geneva that he wanted to get this young man from Ndola to come to the Ministry of Health. So one press conference, the president was talking, and we're not used to that because we're not politicians. My friends in Lusaka heard that there had been an announcement that I'd been appointed Director of Medical Services. I said, what is this? I have no idea how do they run these ministries and all that. But that was a presidential appointment. And then the president called to say, oh, sorry, I didn't alert you. We spoke with your bosses in Geneva, and they are quite happy for you to come and help us. I go to the ministry, and very soon he also appointed me permanent secretary. So I was combined permanent secretary and director of medical services. But dear colleagues, something horrible happened. Advent of HIV and AIDS. The countries in the region were not prepared. Our health system was just something else, particularly the clinical care side. The World Bank at that time diverted resources to be given to countries to primary health care support, not clinical work. They thought that these few hospitals were gobbling all the money and the proper work of primary health care was suffering. So as a result, our hospitals degenerated terribly. And here now you are with this pandemic. We knew very little about it, but all we saw was a high number of patients coming into the hospitals. So we had to rethink. The government has to reset its priorities and all that. Somehow it reminds me of what has happened with withdrawal of support, technical support. It happened at that time. And so we had to figure out what to do. Remember, these were the early stages, no antiretrovirus. But opportunistic infections were all over the place. And then we started seeing some funny things, development of Kaposi sarcoma in young generations. Kaposi sarcoma is something you started looking at when people in their 60s. Equally, our friends in the dermatology clinics reported an upsurge of herpes zoster. In fact, later on, it became quite clear that if somebody presented to you with herpes zoster rashes, just go and do the test. In fact, you don't have to because that's HIV. So the coexist. Then another shocking one was we were dealing that time with communicable diseases, and tuberculosis was a problem. So there was a very strong program to control tuberculosis. Cases started coming down. And then all of a sudden, the cases started going up. And later on, we realized that combination of TB and HIV was really a terrible combination. But most depressing, dear colleagues, was losing our colleague doctors. And we lost quite a number in those early stages, and nurses. So here we are with this strange disorder. We have no medicines for it. Yes, we could treat opportunistic infections, but that was about all. And then colleagues going on, particularly those that contracted tuberculosis and Kaposi sarcoma. It was terrible. But on the other hand, you looked and said, even in that terrible situation, what we did as a small group to start and reorganize this program led us to some fantastic foundation. So I was in the ministry until 1991 when there was change of government. And that time I had also connection with my colleagues in WHO. So I applied to join WHO, so I left Zambia and went to the WHO regional office in Brazzaville. And in Brazzaville, the then regional director had come to Zambia as a consultant to set up the medical school. So he had plans that he wanted us to do together. So one of those evenings, he invited me to his home. And there was very nice glasses of whiskey. We had one or two. So I was suspicious. I said, what is this? This can't be for free. What is it? Then he laughed. He says, I want you to help me. I'm sending you as the WHO representative in Sierra Leone. I said, wait a minute, Sierra Leone? Of all countries? Then he laughed. He said, if I asked somebody else to go there, they were thinking that I hated them. But you're my friend, you have to help me. So that's how I packed my bags to go to West Africa. And the experience traveling in West Africa is something for other night. But that's how I moved from Brazzaville to Freetown in Sierra Leone. I served there 3 years, then moved on to Nigeria, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Instead of 3 years, I served 5 years in that place. Then eventually I was posted to Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe, fantastic country, but was going through a lot of economic challenges and all that. I think there was a lot of animosity against Zimbabwe because of what happened to the farms and things and all that. But I kept arguing with my colleagues in the UN. The people that are dying are not Mugabe, it's ordinary people. So you can't punish everybody just because this politician is not in agreement with you. And that time, luckily, Zimbabwe, of all countries in our region, I started compounding antiretroviral drugs. They had a beautiful, beautiful pharmaceutical company. But then these people with their sanctions they cut off the supply of, the basic supplies to work on antiretrovirus. So we had to plea with our Director General and the UN Secretary General to ask WHO and UN Secretary, UN United Nations to support the program of HIV in Zimbabwe. And it helped, but until there was overwhelming, issues against Zimbabwe. Instead of staying 3 years, I stayed 7 years in Zimbabwe. My dear colleagues, what I'm saying, be ready to face certain things as you are going in the field. Things you may not have even thought about and all that. So to move forward, came back to Zambia in 2007. With a few colleagues, we set up this now Lusaka Apex Medical University to complement government effort in training for human resources for health. The burden of disease was going up, including this advent of HIV, but mainly communicable diseases, then quietly non-problem. The training of health workers, particularly with the doctors, didn't change very much from my days. Sometimes 7, 8, 10, 15. And the paramedics and all these years, most of them were trained at UTH in Lusaka. So the production of human resource for health to combat this burden, that burden of disease, the balance was just horrible. So it was this background that why don't we help our government and try and complement what they are doing? So came the birth of Lusaka Apex Medical University. As you know, I'm the current vice chancellor there now. But we got our colleagues, the physicians, that we needed to get together so that we can influence the training of physicians. And therefore, in 2009, we created the Zambia College of Physicians. And I was privileged to be the first president. Then looking ahead, we're looking at the whole continent of Africa, comparing particularly physicians, the way we're training physicians in the region, compared now to the larger disease burden in the region. It was horrifying. So with support from the Royal College of Physicians, London, we had meetings of senior physicians from Africa, looking at what we could do. We started a college of physicians that are going to train locally, close to the problems in the villages, in the districts, and all that. This was going to be a college under the auspices of the East Central and Southern African Health Sciences Committee, which is based in Arusha, Tanzania. So following several planning meetings and trainers, the training, you had to develop criteria for accrediting trainers. You have to train them, accredit them. You have to accredit training sites. And we had to work now on this curriculum. And the beauty that we all agreed, we needed a competence-based curriculum. Training along collegiate level. Yes, there are two other ways that you can go for specialization, the MMed program and all that. But we said, let's be specific and develop this thing. Luckily, after all the groundwork, we were able to set up the College of Physicians for East, Central, and Southern Africa. Again, I was privileged to be the first founding president of the college. So delighted that it has also started graduating, I think a few years back, 2022. And there are quite a number of graduates that come through now. At that time, we got talking with Professor Victor Mkonkausie. That time, Victor was studying in Dublin. And we're trying to see how we could form close links with the college there. And I know that the College of Surgeons Dublin supported the College of Surgeons in East and Central Africa up to now. they still support. So we thought there was a possibility that something could start pertaining to the training of, physicians. And Victor worked quite a lot. I was privileged to meet your predecessor, Professor Frank Murray. And so Victor continued. And here is now what we have, very joyful occasion where we can see the Zambian College of Medicine and Science in place. Can we give a hand to Victor and the So, my dear friends, my colleagues, welcome to this important category of being one of our specialists in this country. A few reflections maybe when you look back. What did we learn? It was very exciting to be first year, and the excitement of your first students and what have you. But above all, the importance of the new family of practitioners. Those colleagues who were with you as you were coming along and all that. So my best thing to share with you, please don't forget where you are coming from. We learn a lot. We get a lot of power and energy when we reflect where we are coming from. The second challenge, my dear colleagues, I pose to you, and I was so happy to hear this yesterday. Empathy. 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 Love you, patience. Those are you teachers, even after specialization. It is the patience. So we must have that feeling that we have to help. In fact, one of the things that has helped me all along, I could get very tired and you say, why am I doing this? I'm sure you can do something else. But then think about those patients. They are not numbers, they are human beings. And above all, these could be your parents or your brothers and sisters. How would you like them treated? Now, as specialists, you have an opportunity to provide leadership that our young doctors who are going to come under you are given this orientation of empathy for our patients. It's important to decide early in your career what you want to do. I decided I wanted internal medicine. Others went to surgery and all that. But make your choice early in the career, and then that will keep you going. Problems will come under the way, but just keep focused and keep going. I talked about sudden developments like the HIV/AIDS, rising of non-communicable diseases. As a specialist, you have to be ready to do this. You're going to be in some remote places where you'll be the only one. Thank God now we have got this communication. We can speak to our colleagues on phone and all that, which has really helped, to help. And so it's very important. Now, in doing that, remember the new family. Your strength will come from your colleagues. And that will be your strength as you go through. Remember that every challenge you face, your senior colleagues have been there. So please, 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 work as a team. Consult your seniors. Very soon you'll also be senior and people will be consulting you. Teamwork. Even where things are very difficult. Teamwork will help you. Commitment to lifelong learning. Unfortunately, our profession is that you have to keep learning lifelong, and that's a commitment. And this commitment, my colleagues, I want you to pass it on the generations that are going to come in after you. Involve yourself in research. Research is not for some other people, it's for all of us. You need answers. You'll be treating some patients are responding, others are not. Find out what's happening. So demystify research and start doing something. You need to generate evidence so that we can talk to our leaders to guide the way the health sector goes. It will only come from research. Continue in whatever capacity to strengthen, to contribute to strengthening the health systems in the country. That's so important. We can do it in several ways. You can make a contribution at any level of the health system, and this will be most welcome. Bottom of all this all, and this has been a problem with all of us in this part of the world, we don't respect what we have. In this hall here, we have all the expertise that you may require in any of those subspecialties. But do we respect them? No. You need to look elsewhere. Let's stop this. First of all, believe in yourself. Believe in what you are doing. And believe in your colleagues. Together, you can make a difference. I thank you for your attention, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Prof. As you walk down, I have a humble request to make. I was very inspired by what you said, so I'll just request that the camera people come close, they take a picture of me with you. Yeah,
Who am I to say no?
yeah. So, guys, first, my camera never professor. What inspired me mostly is the number of countries you've been to that I've always wanted to go to. Since I've never been there, I've always wanted to go to Nigeria, but I've never been there. So this is the closest I've been to Nigeria.
Good.
So I want this to count. Guys, kachoke ka picture na papad. So you have to look as if you are the one who asked for the picture. Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
By the way, talking about Nigeria, if you've been to Nigeria, nothing will ever surprise you. You'll have seen it all.
Thank you very much. A big hand for Prof. You know, in our interactions, we hardly meet people that are as inspiring as what we've just heard. Guys, let's open my picture at Chokamoshai. This is the only leverage I have to show people that even me, I'm there, somewhere there. Now, after such an inspiring speech, DJ, just for a minute, we need to just reflect further before I invite the next speaker. And I'm told we are about to have dinner in a short while, so we shall be guided on how that will happen. So DJ, kanyimbo cheka kwebati, the reflection must sink and settle. Then we are going to proceed with the next item on the program. We will now invite ZACOMS president to also shall be guided on who is speaking next. A big hand for ZACOMS president as he comes to speak.
Good evening. Welcome to this graduation dinner. Let me recognize the presence of the President of the Royal College of Physicians in Ireland, Dr. O'Shea, the President of the Zambia Medical Association, Dr. Masuku Piri, professors present here, Professor Njelesani, Professor Mukonka, Professor Banda, Professor Musuku, ladies and gentlemen. This dinner is for the graduates to celebrate their day. This is a milestone in their lives. It only comes once. This is a day you are supposed to remember, even 20 years, 30 years from today. So we are here to celebrate with you. We hope you have a good evening. At this moment, I'll call upon Professor David Wickham to call upon the President of the Royal Colleges of Surgeons of Ireland to give us his address. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Would like first to recognize the Permanent Secretary, Dr. George Sinyangwe, hoping to join us later this evening, hasn't arrived yet. Also the President of ZACOMS, Dr. Michael Mbambiko, President of the Zambian Medical Association, Dr. MICC Ofiri, and distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. I do have to start with a big thank you for the invitation to be here this week. I've greatly appreciated the opportunity to be here and been shown such warm hospitality, so thank you for that. But also to say at the outset, a big congratulations. It was a privilege to be here yesterday at the graduation ceremony and to see the remarkable achievement in a small number of years. And so congratulations to ZACOMS. When I think back to the start of the collaboration that we've been part of, that over 10 years ago, there was no College of Medicine and Surgery in Zambia. And yesterday I heard a figure, 540 graduates, and that is phenomenal. And congratulations too to those of you who graduated yesterday. It was wonderful to see the number graduating and to see how all of you will be contributing to health in this country. I've been given the task to introduce our keynote speaker, who's the President of the Royal College of Physicians. But if I could have a few minutes to make a few remarks, I would like to do just before that. And I'd like to speak a little bit from the perspective where I come from. I'm a fellow of the Royal College of Physicians, but in my main role, I work in the Irish Health Service. And I want to speak about something a little bit of the wider context for the collaboration between our colleges. And yesterday, Dr. Mbambiko reminded us that the ultimate goal is not the training specialists. The ultimate goal is improving the health of our people. And he spoke about that. That's the achievement of ZACOMS, is that now all over this country, there are specialists and there are people in training who are providing care for people who weren't getting care before. That's now saving lives and contributing to improvements in child mortality and maternal mortality and so on. So I think we need to always remember that training is an investment for universal health coverage. I'd like to say a few words too about partnership, because we're here because we're in a partnership with you. And it's a global partnership. And we live in what, as the quote has been said, may you live in interesting times. We live in interesting times, but they're turbulent times. There are many challenges globally that we're all aware of, with weakening of the multilateral system, with reductions in aid and so on. And the impact of that, the impact is really felt here and in many other countries. And what it challenges us to do at this time more than ever is to work together. And we were reminded yesterday of the African proverb, if you want to go far, go together. And also, I think from when our president from the College was speaking, he reminded us of a quote from one of our famous poets, Seamus Heaney, all we do, we must do together. And of course, we said that so much in recent years during COVID. We were all in this together. So it's never been more important that we work together, not just in the country, but internationally. And when we met with the PS this week in his office, one of the things he said is that partnership with Ireland will continue to be key. This evening, we hope to sign a memorandum of understanding, and it's renewing the MOU that was signed in 2017. And the last MOU was signed between our college, the Royal College of Physicians, and the Ministry of Health. ZACOMS didn't sign it, they weren't in existence at the time. But also our health service weren't a signatory then, but we are now. And I want to just say that because it speaks to the commitment of Ireland to us. It's a commitment of our government. And it's a commitment as part of our government's role in health in the world under the framework of the Sustainable Development Goals. And our motto is reaching the furthest behind first. And that's part of our commitment here. The other thing that's important with an agreement like a memorandum of understanding about commitment is that this agreement we're signing speaks of an enduring relationship. We've been in a partnership now for more than 10 years. And we expect we will continue to be in partnership for the next 10 years. We will not reach the end. It's a journey we're on, the journey to universal health coverage. We're all on this journey. And it's about progress and progressing together. And our commitment is to go on that journey hand in hand with you, to be alongside you in the journey. My specialization is in public health medicine. Yesterday, there were graduates in many specialties. There were no graduates in public health medicine because it's not yet been started. So one of the things I wanted to say this evening is that the time has come for public health medicine. And in Ireland, for many years, public health medicine was not a strong specialty compared to some of the clinical specialties. And that changed very much for us during the COVID pandemic. When our government recognized and appreciated that some of the most important doctors were those in the country, were those leading the response to COVID. It was the biggest health challenge facing our country in years, and it had huge economic consequences as well as affecting people's health. And so in the world we live in, we need to address new challenges. And some of them are infectious diseases, but also, and as Professor Angelisani mentioned, the growth in non-communicable diseases. And we need more than ever to strengthen and build resilient health systems to ensure no one's left behind. And that requires a strong public health function. We need strong public health leaders. And we need doctors who specialize in public health medicine who can be leaders in some of these key roles. So I'm hoping when I come back next year, because I believe there's a big celebration next year for 10 years, that public health medicine will be also one of the specialties. So just a couple more things before I finish up. One of the things is when we sign an MOU like this that has a number of partners, is it allows us to think beyond what we're doing now. So in the coming years, I'm sure we'll do more together between our colleges in strengthening training. But we'll do more beyond that. And coming from the health service and being part of this collaboration, as is also the Ministry of Health here, I look forward to the possibilities that new activities, new areas of work will spring up under the partnership. And it was great this week that our team here this week, well, it was a team from the college and our health service, but also, you'd see at the table over here, some distinguished colleagues from Ireland, from the College of Psychiatry and our health service in psychiatry, who were engaging in an area of work, very important area for collaboration in strengthening mental health services, in training for that, and in the key area of addiction. And I think it's a great example of the types of collaboration that can be developed more and more into the future. In our health service, we have about 150,000 staff. So plenty of scope for sharing our experiences, sharing our expertise. So finally, having spoken about partnership and collaboration, I'll just conclude by really saying that this is all about relationships. And we value the relationships that we have with you and that we've built with you. And we value the friendships that have grown and deepened. And I very much look forward to that continuing and bearing fruit as we work together for better health here in Zambia and for better health in Ireland. And on that note, I would like to introduce the keynote speaker for this evening. And that's Dr. Diarmuid O'Shea, who's the president of the Royal College of Physicians. I'd like to invite him now to come to the stage. Thank you.
Thank you very much, David. May I first of all, before I start, it's certainly humbling to follow Professor Angelisani after that extraordinary story of his career and his reflections that he has shared with us. And it reminded me of the importance of wisdom and experience staying involved in our careers. I'd first like to recognize the Principal Secretary, Dr. Sinyanwe, for hosting us at the meeting in the Ministry for Health during the week. It was a very important part of the visit. And also, of course, the President of the Zambia College of Medicine and Surgery, Dr. Michael Mabiko, along with the President of the Zambian Medical Association, Dr. MICC Ufiri, and as well Professor Banda and Mr. Sam Dowsard from the Irish Embassy. And each of those have been an integral part of what we have been trying to do and work with you today. And it's an absolute pleasure for me and an honour, along with the team from the Royal College of Physicians of Ireland, and as David said, our psychiatry colleagues and our health service executive, to be here with you on a really big day and to congratulate each and every one of the 70 new graduates who are joining the physician community of physicians and surgeons trained in Zambia. You should be individually very proud and just should be collectively very proud. David referred to the old saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. We've plenty of Irish versions of that. And if I was speaking Irish here this evening, which I'm not, but I'm going to use one phrase, I would say Níneart go cur le céile, which is there is strength in togetherness and community. And this reflects what has been hidden in plain sight for me throughout this week and for our team. The value of connections and bonds and the shared learnings from each other that we in Ireland have with you in Zambia and that we celebrate and mark with you this evening. Zambia and Ireland have been building connections both professionally, culturally and diplomatically and in partnership for over 60 years now. And this evening is another example of how these bonds and connections are so important for each and every one of us. Ireland's ties with Zambia go back to your first president's visit, Dr. Kayonda, who visited our country in 1964, and he issued a very definite invitation on a very important visit to our country that day, that week, when he asked Irish professionals to move to Zambia and assist in building a new nation's infrastructure, administration, and public services. Many Irish missionaries, teachers, business people, lawyers, doctors, and others answered that call. And we are very proud that we are continuing that connection and partnership now. My own aunt, who's now 90, worked with her husband in Mazabuka for 2 years, and her life was saved in a hospital in Monze in 1964 or 5. And our family are very aware of that and the gift of life she still has. And she has shared with me over many years her love of the food, the culture, but above all, the people of Zambia. And I've got to see that firsthand this week. And if I could say one thing personally to you this evening, knowing what healthcare was like in Zambia from my aunt all those years ago and how it is developed and developing, I would say in your language, and apologies if I get this wrong, I would say to you, ZACOMS kwambili. So from that past to this present, more than a decade ago, there was a conversation grounded in a very simple but powerful idea between, and Dr. Angelisani spoke about this, Victor Monkanko, Frank Murray, John Magner, and others in Dublin in Ireland. And it was that international collaboration, when built on trust and mutual respect, can help strengthen health systems, improve patient care, and be a bridge to the universal care and healthcare that we all want to see. And from that vision came Equals, which was established by the Royal College of Physicians of Ireland in partnership with the health service here. It was a partnership built on trust, one which had both sides learning, contributing, and growing together. And that's why it's a big honor for us to be here representing our country as we sign a new agreement, and David outlined that to you. It's signed by the Zambia College of Medicine and Surgery, which didn't exist when we signed the original one. It's signed by our own HSE and government, by your Ministry of Health, and by the College of Physicians. And it is responding to real needs, because at a time, like many countries, when this started, Zambia faced a critical challenge, a shortage of specialist doctors, limited access to advanced medical equipment, and a significant inequity between urban and rural healthcare provision. And that's not just here. We see that in our country too. The vision and the establishment of the Zambian College of Medicine and Surgery has marked the turning point. It represents a bold, ambitious vision to build a sustainable, high-quality system of specialist training in Zambia itself. And we've heard all about that, and it was a really joyous occasion to see 70 of you in each of your specialties receive your certificates yesterday. It was a wonderful ceremony. That is the type of thing that really gives you confidence as a community of doctors that you are going in the right direction. Over the years, the collaboration has grown into something that is both practical and transformative. Through this initiative, medical equipment has been sourced from Irish hospitals, carefully tested and distributed across Zambia to support patient care. Biomedical engineering training has been supported to ensure that this equipment can be maintained and sustained. And critically, postgraduate medical training has been strengthened through partnership with ZACOMS. Multiple shipments of equipment have reached hospitals across the country, supporting both large centres and smaller regional facilities. But while equipment matters, what matters most is people. People, patients, doctors and healthcare professionals. And that is why this partnership has focused so strongly on training, curriculum, structures and strategy. And this has been said already this evening. We're supporting with ZACOMS the curriculum development, the delivering the train-the-trainer programs, the access to education and online learning, appreciating and valuing the contribution of nurses and the community teams that we work with, and sharing expertise in accreditation and quality assurance. Because sustainable healthcare systems are built not just on infrastructure and equipment, but on skills, people, leadership, and teamwork. And today, sitting here this evening, waiting for your food, we see the results of that shared work. ZACOMS has grown unbelievably significantly in recent years, expanding programs. You heard the number of trainees that you have now, or not trainees, qualified specialist physicians and surgeons, over 540. So it's a privilege to participate and contribute to the establishment of what is happening in your country before your very eyes. And I'd like to specifically mention Dermot O'Donovan, Anna O'Shaughnessy, who back about 3 years ago, I think, and Professor Banda can correct me if I'm wrong with this, but the exact date, were there to establish a robust and strategic plan with you. And what the plan is helping to address is one of the most important challenges facing healthcare in every healthcare system in the world. How do we train the specialists that are needed and ensure that we stay and work in our own countries? So ZACOMS, supported by this partnership, is doing exactly that. Training doctors within Zambia, strengthening regional training centres, and improving access to high-quality care closer to patients' home. That's not just capacity building, that is system building. And it's already making a difference, not only in the number of specialists you have in your country, but in the quality of care, the equity of access, and the future resilience of the healthcare system that we work in. It was our great privilege to honour a keynote lecture at our flagship meeting, highlighting the wonderful and inspiring work being done in healthcare in Zambia. And together with his colleagues, Jonathan Satali and Kweko, we had a really formative and informative few days, sharing knowledge, strengthening the connections, and celebrating the achievements. One of the defining features of this initiative for me has been how the partnership has been conducted. It has been grounded in listening, in supporting, and in recognising that you have the solutions within Zambia itself. And we've learned through this collaboration as a role of international partners that enable and strengthen and allow us develop our health service too. It is the essence of collaboration, collegiality, and professionalism. And in doing this, Ireland has benefited as our college. Now, our work, all of our work, is far from complete. And we need to look to the future. And this is what this MOU is about. It's the next phase of this partnership, supporting ZACOMS with the strategic plan, strengthening governance accreditation and sustainability, building a renewed framework of collaboration with the Ministry of Health, which is what this MOU represents. So we're working towards a future where specialist training continues to expand, quality is assured and continuously improved, and every patient in Zambia has access to the care they need, wherever they live, delivered by skilled teams. That is the definition of what we are trying to achieve everywhere through universal healthcare. But back and finally and most appropriately to the 70 or so graduates who are sitting here this evening. You represent the success of this vision, the strength of the partnership, and you are the future of healthcare in this country. You are the future leaders and the future deliverers of great healthcare. You've chosen a path that demands dedication, commitment, compassion, and resilience. You will work in environments of challenge, but you also have a capacity to have an immense impact. You will help shape a healthcare system you will be proud of, that will be more equitable, that will be more accessible, and that will be more responsive to the needs of your communities. You are the next wave, the inspiration, the providers and leaders of healthcare in your country, and your potential to make an impact is unlimited. So in conclusion, on behalf of the Royal College of Physicians of Ireland and our partners at the Health Service Executive, I want to congratulate you too. Mary Robinson was our first female president, and she visited here in 1994. And she's also an honorary fellow of the College of Physicians, as is Professor Munkonka and Seamus Heaney that David referred to. Both Mary Robinson and Seamus Heaney spoke about the importance of hope. Seamus Heaney said that hope is not optimism, which expects things to turn out well, but something rooted in the conviction that there is good worth working for. So with pride in what you are, we are proud to stand alongside you, not just today, but into the future. We remain committed to this partnership, to this country, and to the shared purpose and hope that brings us together. We all work together to improve and strengthen patient care, to advance equity in the healthcare systems in which we work, and to improve health systems in our own country and around the world. These should be the universal goals of those of us who work in healthcare. Thank you, as the new graduates, for dedicating yourselves to this crusade. As each of you continues to honour yourself, your families, and your profession, I wish each of you continued success, contentment, and happiness. And I hope I get this piece right. Nakwandwela kwambili kobezeka muzambia. Zikomo kwambili. Gurvmila Mahagut, I hope you get something to eat in a couple of minutes.
Thank you very much, Doc. I like the last statement. You deserve a song titled Kondwa Biomaps, since mwakondwela kwambiri, Doc. Thank you very much for that speech. I'll invite Dr. Study. Just quickly, there's a bit of signatures that need to fly around before we can let you, yeah.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies. I'll ask my colleagues to come and help me with these tables. David and our President Damon have exemplified the relationship between ZACOMS and RCPI HSE. These distinguished ladies and gentlemen are not just words. The relationship, ZACOMS, RCPI, HSE, is redefined the essence of all-weather friends. We heard yesterday in the speech, the PS, acknowledging this partnership. Today, President Mbambiko again echoed the same. Both Damien and David have done equally, all talking about this partnership. Tonight, we're happy to announce the signing of an MOU, which is going to that's going to grow this relationship to even greater heights. The sky, like they say, is not even the limit. With that, I'll invite President Mbambiko President Damon O'Shea, David, to join me up here as we do the signing. Sinead, please come along. A round of applause, everybody. Sinead.
Okay. I'm glad you did what I wanted to tell you. So for the signing, it's just here in Zambia. There's no home and away for signing. Like we can't go and sign also in Ireland. So we,
Yes, please, everybody come. Yes,
oh,
you're all
okay.
invited. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can travel as a witness to make sure that the signing was also done there. It can't just be signed here. Okay. So I'm told soon after this, we may have to eat, but there's a way I would love us to do that. Of course, there are tables that would have to be ushered first, especially the table where my Vice Chancellor is, Professor Sekeran Banda. Since I didn't have a boss, so Prof tended to, who knows, maybe you may decide to promote me after a month. I'm a very hardworking lecturer. Yeah. So to show the hard work, I'll give preference to this table for dinner. And the rest of the tables will be directed as such. So, okay, so the signing is done, kind of. Okay. You know, we have so much faith. We are clapping. We don't even know what they have signed there. Most of us don't even know the contents there. But we can clap for them. We trust these people. Whatever they have signed looks good for us and everyone else. Like I said, I'm just advocating that we have a second session of the signing on the other side also.
Thank you, everybody. And another round of applause, please. I'll invite now somebody who truly knows. So we have signed here. I'm picking a leaf from MC, who was jokingly saying we don't even know what has been signed. But there's one amongst us here who's been fundamental to what we have done here tonight, and represents ever so well this relationship between Ireland and Zambia. I'll invite, ladies and gentlemen, Professor Mukonka to come and give us the vote of thanks.
Okay, so the gentlemen, we are just asking for a bit of kate boche socha.
So thank you very much, the registrar, Dr. Stali. Let me start by acknowledging our president for the Zambia College of Medicine and Surgery. I also recognize the president of the Royal College of Physicians of Ireland, our president for the Zambia Medical Association, all distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I ride on the protocol which was given earlier on. I want to start by congratulating our colleagues who have joined the club yesterday. And I want to start first thanking on your behalf the Minister of Health, which has been very, very important in the journey and up to where you are. Minister of Health is a receiving end, and they initiated the process for us to have the college because of shortfall of manpower, not only the numbers, but also the competencies. And the Minister of Health has been very key in navigating the process. I know we have had fights between the college and the Health Professions Council in that you cannot start and meet 100% the standards. You heard from our elder how they started the medical school in 1966, or just after independence, in showgrounds. And you can see where we are now at a totally different level. So on your behalf, I want again it so that it goes on. Secondly, Mr. President for the Royal College of Physicians in Ireland, again on behalf of the Zambian people, we just want to say thank you very much for the catalytic role you have played. In particular, the current president, I want to acknowledge in front of everybody here that during your presidency, you have helped us quite a lot to move into another milestone, starting with the support in the development of the strategic plan for the college. And even right now, as you were coming for this activity, you requested us to indicate some of the key areas we needed support. And we indicated that we are lacking behind in terms of psychiatry program, and also we neglected public health medicine. And indeed, to your promise, I saw in your delegation, we have here about 4 professors in psychiatry who have been engaging with our colleague to anchor that program and support them through. So again, we want to say thank you very much. We also acknowledge and the good engagement we have had in the week to begin to develop public health medicine. And again, we appreciate the support the college is giving us. So let's give a round of applause for the president. And I can tell you that it hasn't been easy for the president of the college, and you know the college has been there since 1630 or somewhere there. Huh? And when we were checking for his schedule and commitment, it has taken us a year, but he indicated that I will be there and I will come. And indeed, he has fulfilled his promise. In this journey, I also want to acknowledge some of our key Irish Zambian friends who at some point in their training and in their work life were able to be in Zambia and who have been very, very instrumental to see us where we are. Unfortunately, they haven't been able to join us. I want to recognize in a special way Professor Frank Murray, who was the president before our current president. Also recognize Professor O'Donovan, and also my colleague who was here, Professor Wickham. These started as a friendship when I was studying in Ireland, and they were asking to say, what can we do for Zambia? Because we benefited ourselves at some point in our professional life. So we want to give something back to Zambia. What is it we can do? And I said, we have been struggling to have specialist doctors. Our current program just produces 15, 20, but when you look at the need, we need a big program. And that was the beginning. From there, consulted home and our elderly, which I want to pay a lot of tribute. When we engaged him, Professor Njelesani, he kindly agreed to chair the working group. That was the beginning. We used to have monthly meetings between Ireland and Zambia. And we went on with the meetings. Eventually, we reached a point where we said, we need now somebody to move our discussions so that we begin to put things in place. Another special person I want to recognize, Professor Banda. Professor Banda was the key mover. We requested the Ministry of Health to appoint somebody to drive the process. And Professor Banda was appointed Director, Human Resource Development in the Ministry of Health. And that was the beginning and the movement of some of the things you see at Levi Mwanawasa Medical University and also for the college. I want also to give special recognition of our president for the college and also our registrar, Dr. Stali. If you look at it, the secretariat has been very, very small, but you can see the amount of work and personal sacrifice they have put in up to where we are now, and all the growth you have seen. Yesterday, we were talking of 20 or so faculties. Again, on your behalf, we acknowledge and thank them. I will not end with my list without saying the great work your lecturers, your mentors, particularly the directors for the programs. They are here. I may not go through the whole list, but you know them, and you know the critical role they have played. And I must tell you that a lot of it has been personal sacrifice. Personal sacrifice, they don't get anything out of it, but they have been there to share the knowledge and help you through. So again, let's recognize them and thank them. Lastly, we have had a very productive week. As you can see, we had quite a good delegation from Ireland. They graciously agreed to come and witness to your graduation. And they were there yesterday for you specifically. Secondly, again, you saw the request we made. We've been able to make progress in the development of the curriculum and training program for the doctors in public health medicine. I'm sure by 1st January, we should have our first candidates. Psychiatry, they've had very good engagement, and they are still here, led by Professor John Sheehan. Again, they have committed themselves. It's one of the biggest teams. You can see there, 4 professors have come to support us. And it tells you the value and the importance, because they are very, very busy people, and for them to take some time to come and help us, we must appreciate it. Lastly, thank you to all those who are graduating, those who have graduated, not graduating, and for joining the club. What it means, as Professor Njelesani said, what it means is that we are in a better position to direct our young ones who are still in training. Please, as you have been helped to be what you are, extend that arm and look at those who are still training and share the knowledge. It's a responsibility we shall give you, because the future of the country will depend in your participation and helping us train the professionals who will take care of the patients. So on your behalf, thank you, the Irish, been here through and through, and a very critical, important player in the ZACOMS and in your training. So enjoy your night and welcome to the club. Thank you.
After all is said and done, usually in an African setup, when we have visitors, we always give them preference when it comes to the aspect of refreshments and meals. So this is how we're going to proceed. Outside there, we have 5 serving points. So tables would be moving out in 5s. So the only thing that we have to do after that, obviously, we know that we'll have awards. There are people that are supposed to receive something because of the hard work that we've been talking about. So like I said, the table where we have my Vice Chancellor, Levi Mwanawasa Medical University, Professor Sekarani, you're going to lead our visitors to where the serving bay is. No sooner had this table left, okay, I'm trying to remember. This rewrite is not an easy one. No sooner. Some people are still rewriting GCE because of it. So, okay, what I'm trying to say, let me just use the English that I'm comfortable with. What I'm trying to say is, as soon as this table goes outside, I'll point at, I think, all the tables in front, the high tables will just follow behind him because we have 5 different serving bays. Then I'll go to the next row just like that. So DJ, at this point, I'm seeing Prof is giving me a signal before I conclude. Okay, there's a petition here. President ZACOMS, I'm told you are supposed to be close to your counterpart. Yeah, presidential rubbing of shoulders. Yeah, so that you can together as a president. So we are using, yes, yeah. So we are going right. We are using that exit, not far end there. Yeah. Okay. So DJ, at this moment we are going to depend on you because